And she asked me if I would go in and share my story with him about how I had given birth to my daughter chained to a bed in a prison, in a Georgia state prison. And at first, I was very reluctant, like everybody else. I didn't want to go in. I mean, I had read all of the media reports. I didn't think that he would even acknowledge me, let alone hear me. But I prayed about it. And at the time, I was watching the news, and I was seeing so many people advocating for separated families at the border.
Yeah.
And it kind of put me in my feelings because I'm like, here we are coming together to fight for families to be reunited at the border. But what about the families that have been separated in the border?
Yeah.
Right? You guys
Yeah.
fighting at the border, but let's
Yeah.
talk about what happens in the border. And reality was that anybody that's arrested for any type of crime, even if it's driving on a suspended license, you're going to be separated from your child. And of course, my situation was much more dire because this was a nonviolent crime. And I remembered women that were incarcerated with me that weren't as lucky as I was, that had family to, take their children. And these women lost their children to the state. And so I said, I'm going to set my feelings aside and I'm going to go in and I'm going to share my story. So here I am, going from prison basically to the palace, walking in the White House to share my story with President Donald Trump. And I was surprised by his reaction because after I shared my story with him, I did see a tear well up in the side of his eye.
Really?
And he made it illegal for them to chain women to the bed during childbirth because of my story. So if there was ever a time that I felt dehumanized or I felt as if slavery existed, it was in that moment.
Whew.
I literally thought to myself, like, this is what slavery felt like, being chained to a bed, white man standing over you with a sheriff hat on, all in your butt, and then these people literally taking your baby from you.
Oh.
That had to be what slavery felt like.